Hello and welcome back to Wildsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne and we are here in, for me anyway, the middle of the night. And I've sort of developed this habit of not sleeping all night straight. So I go to bed early and I wake up in the middle of the night, and then I wake up again later on in the day. So, I mean, not the day, it's the morning. But, yeah, anyway, so it's the middle of the night right now for me. But I hope not for you. I hope you get to sleep. I think some people say that's normal and healthy to sleep 8 hours straight through the night. So I thought it would be fun. Oh, you know what I can do? Is I can bring this a little closer. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little closer. So, just in case somebody hasn't seen one of my other videos on this, these are pieces of origami paper. They have bright colors on one side and they're just white on the back. The papers that I like a lot are made by Aitoh, Aitoh. It's a Japanese word, and there's every possibility that I am not pronouncing that correctly. But they are my favorite papers. They are just like this. They're white on one side and have the color. They're a little shiny, which, interestingly enough, this other company that has double-sided papers are less shiny. The colors are a little less brilliant. Here's the difference. These are the Aitoh. These are the other company. I mean, they're great if you really like those softer colors. Usually I'm in the mood for brighter colors. Isn't this pretty? I just cut this morning before I started making a video. 4 hearts in the middle and this lovely kind of 4-petal flower that goes out. And I was just delighted by this sort of house or shrine shape. I don't know. I liked it. I'm going to leave that. Look, we can do this. Leave it over here so you can still see that. And see here how you can see some of the white? I'm going to cut that to be even. So for me, right now, it is the middle of December. And I was listening to Pam at the Paper Outpost. I think it was her. Talk about how some of us are choosing to sort of dial back our Christmas and general holiday celebrations because we can't go out for New Year's. I mean, I guess we could go out and social distance. But, like the whole Times Square thing, everybody jamming together, or as we like to do here in Maine, go to Bangor and throw the ball off the side of a building, which is really a thing. You can look it up in Bangor, Maine for New Year's. It's completely hilarious, seeing as how I was raised in New York, not too far from the Times Square ball that is lowered in a dignified way off the top or from the top of a building on a lovely pole that keeps everything steady. And in Bangor, a few years ago, some really fabulous people decided to get a really large beach ball. I think it's like 5 feet in diameter. It's really huge. I don't even know where you'd go to get a thing like that. But they got this huge beach ball and they wrapped it like a yarn ball, in lights. So the lights are just wrapped around the side of this 5-foot diameter beach ball. And yeah, and at midnight on the 31st, they just shove it off the side of a 5-story building, and it falls to the sidewalk, and the lights all break. It's really awesome. It's completely awesome. It's a little cold, and it's also awesome. So yeah, I mean, stuff like that is not going to be a safe idea. And gathering around a Christmas turkey or Hanukkah Seder, is that the right word? Or yeah, that whole Kwanzaa community thing, gathering all in the same place, at the moment is not going to be a safe idea. And so some people are ramping up their Christmases and other holidays, and some people are dialing it down. Some people are ramping it up because we have all this time to sit at home and create cool stuff. And some people are just taking this lovely excuse to curl up and read books and hang out with our immediate COVID quarantiners. What's that? So this also, just like this has a petal in the middle, these have petals, but this has an open center. Oh, this does too, but it has the sort of cross shape in between the 4 petals. And then it kind of radiates out. There's some hearts, just like there are hearts in there. So oftentimes when I am making a, a journal or something, here I can show you. It's nice to have a bunch of, let's see if I can get us back out a little bit, yeah. It's kind of nice to have some pre-made paper cuts. This looks cool against the red. How's that? Silver. So, when I wake up early in the morning and think about the holiday celebrations that are and are not. When my kids were little, December was always a really busy month. They both danced, and so there was always the dance recital in December. And the school that they went to also had sort of like a recital kind of a thing just before Christmas vacation and, a holiday vacation. And so it was always, and then there was the whole getting excited about, just the day that we got the tree and the day that we decorated and the day that we would make cookies or something, and just sort of on and on down the line, all the fun things. And then whenever it snowed, there would be all the activities that went with sliding down our hill, and yes, busy month. So the kids would get sort of exhausted, and I would get sort of exhausted, and so I think a lot of us are having pleasure at the idea that even if your kids are in school, if you're in a place where there is school to be had, probably people are not doing a whole lot of, like gathering all the parents and all the children in one big gymnasium together, stuff going on. So I used to love just having lots of time in the winter to read books and read books to my children. Read Christmas books. We had a whole stack of special books that only came out at Christmas. And some of them were about the Mary, Joseph, Jesus story. It was a nice way to teach my kids about that whole tradition. And yeah, we tried going to church for a few years, and one chaotic thing would happen at that particular church, and I'd change a church, and another chaotic thing would happen, and finally I thought, well, I grew up going to a choir, which was really, really fun. I loved singing. It was, high Episcopalian church. So we all got dressed up in beautiful choir robes, and that had to be washed and bleached and the whole 9 yards, and the special way of tying the bows around our necks, and little shiny faced children. And that was really fun, and yeah, none of that stuff worked out for me when I had kids. So reading them these beautiful books illustrated by fantastic artists. One of my favorite is a Jane Ray retelling of I could link these. I should really get an Amazon shop, but I don't have one. But I'll link the Jane Ray book. It is so beautiful, and it's just the story. I think she uses mostly Luke. Luke is the one that has the really gorgeous telling of the Mary, Joseph, Jesus story. It's kind of interesting. So that was a favorite one, and there were a couple of Tommy de Paola's books. One was Stregonona, and there's one about Our Lady of Guadalupe, and it has a lot of words in it, and I didn't find it till the kids were older and they had less patience for a book, but with a lot of words. I mean, that's not true because we read chapter books all the time, but I think I was the one who was really interested in Our Lady, and by then they were not so much interested. But anyway, his drawings of Juan Diego, I think, is the gentleman who had the visitation, and it was his cloak that was covered in roses. Oh, I wanted to show you this is my December journal. These are my roses. They're not really all about Juan Diego, but anyway, yeah, so it's getting full. We're about halfway through the month. Lots of stuff. It's all writing. It's not all writing, it's pictures, but it's a lot of writing and it's sort of personal, so not quite shareable. So just briefly, because I haven't done that, the trick to successful paper cutting is to first use a thin but strong paper like origami paper, and any brand is fine. They're all really thin like this. And the second is the papers don't have to be cut at first into a perfect square. You just cut them even when we get there. And the second trick is to have a nice sharp pair of scissors. These are Fiskars. See, I do need to have, I think I found out, a friend asked me for this and couldn't find it on Amazon, and I went pouring through pages and pages and pages of Fiskars scissors, and I finally found they have a slightly bigger, I think this is 4 and something inches. No, this is 5 inches. So I think now they have a 6-inch. So it's not a lot bigger, and it has the same handle where you can get a couple fingers in below. The same friend just told me yesterday that she's left-handed, and cutting with these scissors is. We had a wonderful conversation about left-handed scissors. There are a couple of people in my art group who are left-handed, and one woman came up with a pair from Goody. They look like hair trimming because they have that extra little curl off the bottom, but the handles are shaped in such a way that you can use right-handed or left-handed. And my left-handed friend yesterday was saying she got a pair of left-handed angled scissors, so they fit comfortably in her hand, but the blades also were backwards, and over the many years of being left-handed in a right-handed world, she's kind of grown to be used to the blades being in this configuration, not on the other side. And so cutting is now, so anyway, she hasn't figured that out yet, but I will keep in touch with them, and when we find a pair of scissors that is wonderful for left-handed people and doing this particular work, I will let you know. So the thin paper, sharp scissors, and nice sharp creases. And you can see here, let's go back up a little bit, or in closer. This doesn't fold to be an even perfect square, but that's an easy fix. You just come down a little bit and cut off whatever's making it not square, and then we have a nice squared off shape. Anyway, and then 1, 2, 3, this is the fourth one, is to cut shapes that kind of echo each other. So the first shape was half a mandorla. La 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 la. So the first shape was half the mandorla. And then this next shape I had kind of curve around with that curve too. This will be interesting. Don't know if this will work and be pretty. But a part of tip number 4, cutting shapes that echo each other, is that, so here's the tip of that petal or mandorla shape, and then when I cut this bar out, this straight line, kind of echoes or ripples out from the point of the petal, and then this littler shape, and then that was a little triangle. This one came in with the heart, and this triangle up at the top kind of comes down with the inset of the heart, and this line kind of ripples out from the side of the heart. So the idea is that the shapes all kind of build out from each other or build in, but yeah, it's sort of a ripple effect of oh, I'm not even holding this so you can see it. I'm so sorry. It's because I have these sort of low. I wonder if I've made the whole video like that. Holding things close to me so I can see them. But you, maybe less so. What does that look like? The emblem on the front of a Thunderbird car or something like that? Yeah. There you go. You get that nice kind of rippling outward. Well, I think that's long enough to sit here, chit-chat, and talk about paper cuts. These are my blessing diamonds, and I just wish you very well and happy. Certainly if you're watching this video now when we are sort of in our holiday December mode, but even if it's July or August, I wish you well in your life. I certainly hope the pandemic has lessened. We've all come to grips with it by then. So I wish you well and happy. And I will see you on another day. Bye.